Why, hello and welcome to Doodles with Friends. I'm your host, KC, and it's another episode where we don't have a guest. Reason being, I couldn't find one this week. Anyways, I also lost all the footage of all my other guests, so in the process of re-recording a lot of episodes that I had planned and scheduled and now no longer have. But, as they say, live and let live. So what are we going to be drawing today? Well, today is the Thanksgiving episode. And we're just going to be drawing food. Because Thanksgiving isn't about things, it's about food, and we all know it. We all like getting fat. You know what? Tell me down below. What do you guys eat for Thanksgiving? We usually, mainly because I don't like turkey, I like doing a big ol' ham, big ol', cinnamon ham, but that's just me, or honey roasted ham. Oh, I could go for some honey roasted ham. But yeah, we're gonna draw food, and I'm gonna start with my favorite thing, which is ham, because I like ham. I'm actually not that big on pork, but I love me a good ham. I love me a real good ham. So let's do that. I'm gonna draw us a nice, tasty ham. A ham, ma'am, a ham, yes, ma'am. Oh, look at this juicy, juicy, juicy ham. Now, depending on how I end up editing this, this might be sped up. It might be slowed down. I don't know. We'll see. So, but yeah, Thanksgiving. I don't know if you guys like doing things with your family. I'm personally not big on it. I'm not big on holidays in general, though. That's just my deal, though. I know a lot of people love the holidays. A lot of people get together with your families and stuff, and have a good time. Really connect with each other, and that's a beautiful thing, It's a real beautiful thing when you get to sit down, everyone's together, and to just share that moment, whether it be the only moment in the year that you guys spend together, or it's just something about these holidays. I know that it's kind of like mandated, and society kind of like tells us that these are the things we should celebrate, and whatever your take on that, I mean, that's your take, but I think there's something kind about it, it's almost like it could feel like a mandatory, like, spend time with your family kind of deal, but it's also kind of like, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes family is important, and family isn't just your blood relatives. Family is family's whoever you consider to be family, like your friends who are always there for you, and the people in your lives that mean a lot to you, the people you love and care about and support, people who support, love, and care for you. It's I mean, I'm not a big man on holidays, but I'm not gonna bash them, Oof. Doing episodes by yourself, a little hard because you're just talking to yourself, by the way. And I love talking, but I like talking to people. So I have to imagine that all of you are a person I'm talking to. So I'm gonna talk your ears off now. Let's have fun. But yeah, holidays, man. Holidays. I've never been, I won't lie, I'm not one who's very connected with my family. And while I do love and care for my friends, I would say even they don't get to spend these holidays with me, mainly because they have their own family and their own people to be with. And while I'm sure I'm more than welcome to be one of those people who gets to spend a holiday with them, I just don't. I'm not a fan of holidays. And I'm sure it's because something in my past or whatever made it so that I'm just not a one form, or maybe I just was never a people person and just don't like the fact that I just don't like spending a whole lot of time around people. That's mainly the main reason. I'm a very introverted person. I don't like spending a whole lot of time with anyone. You stick me in a room with someone, you got me for about 3 or 4 hours before I want to leave. And I've tried working on it. I'm still working on it. You know, trying to be more active as a person. Mainly because I think it's unfair for me to keep to myself, but at the same time, it's more than okay because I'm a very, very to myself person. And recently I've learned that reaching out to people isn't always the best thing to do. Especially if those people aren't necessarily positive influences in your life. But you know, that's more of a personal tale. I guess I probably shouldn't get too far into stuff like that. For my sake mainly, just because I don't want to like be weird on camera. I am not getting the color I want out of that. There we go. Probably shouldn't reference colors while doing this because I don't know how I've edited this yet. I might just leave it in as it is and let you guys watch me go about this. That's probably what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be completely honest, and mainly because I'm filming this at 4 a.m. and this goes out at like 3 p.m. today. I missed uploading yesterday's episode just because I wasn't in a very good mood or place yesterday, and I mean, my fault for not really reaching out to anybody. If you're ever feeling down, you should reach out to people. I have a bad habit of just kind of shutting myself in for a while, and that's my own thing to deal with, really. But you know, if anyone out there relates, I'm sure you'd be happy to know it's not just you. You know, you're not weird. Don't worry. Sometimes it's just hard. You know? And it's hard for people to understand you in those moments as well, I have found. Because a lot of people don't get it. I know I should be more positive about this thing. And I should be more like, yeah, holidays. Go spend time with your family and stuff. But I know I'm also very acutely aware. And not all of us have very great families to spend these holidays with. Not all of us have you know, like just a great family life in general. And I'd like to think that, you know, at least this video today is mainly for those people who kind of share the sentimentality with me, where the family you have isn't the best to spend these times with, I feel. And I know that might sound mean, you know, but like, oh, I might have screwed that up. We can fix it though. I can totally fix this. Don't you doubt me, Billy. I've got this. maybe I don't. Oh, geez. No. You know what? That works. That works just fine. We can do some of this. No, we cannot. That looks bad. Don't do that. How about we forget that and just leave it like that, because that might be the best we get out of this. Cool. We got the ham down. We're gonna create like a whole dish, a whole dinner before the end of this episode. Let's get the ham over there in the corner. Cute little hammy. What else is a good food? I like. Who doesn't like some mashed potatoes? Let's make a bowl of mashed potatoes. But like as I was saying, like I kind of hope that maybe this video connects with those of you who don't have a very strong, family life to go to in times of holiday. You know, whether it be for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. Like, I know me personally, my family likes to try, and I'm glad they do, but far past my brother and sister, I don't really connect to my family. And I don't see that as necessarily a horrible thing. I'm not bashing on my parents in any means. They're wonderful people in their own respects, but, as people, they do have flaws. And those flaws are things that I have a hard time looking past. I'm going to be entirely honest with both you and myself. And, maybe that's getting too personal on this channel, but I think personal's kind of good sometimes. I think it's good to remind people that, we're all different. We all come from different places, and not all of us have the same family lives and cultural, and understandings between each other. It's hard to forget that sometimes, because we get so involved and absorbed in our own lives that we tend to forget that our friends and other people in this world, we all have our own stories and experiences, and things aren't always the same for everyone. There's no universal constant for being human other than for the simple fact that shit sucks sometimes and is great some other times. I don't want to get too philosophical and waning on this episode, but I just want to make my point clear that I'm reaching out to you guys who don't have them. If you find this video and you don't really have a strong family to spend time with on those holidays, you're not alone. There's plenty of us out here who have the same issue. And it's okay. If you have friends that you can spend time with on these holidays past your blood relatives, and maybe you should spend your holiday with them, Understanding who makes you happy in life is really important. And you shouldn't put it off because people tell you should spend time with a family who doesn't either appreciate you or understand you or look at you the same as, or just wherever your situation is. Maybe sometimes you just need to understand that you don't have to spend that time, and that's harder for younger people to get, really. And it's harder for younger people to get themselves out of too, because you're young. There's not really a whole lot of places you can go. I'm sorry if I'm getting too into this. It's kind of been on my mind. I guess this is a bit of an insight to Casey's life, kind of at the same time. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, really. I like to think it's kind of in that neutral area where it's not necessarily a big deal, but also maybe I'll connect to someone on a level, and they'll understand that they're not alone. That'd be a great feeling to know that I've reached out to someone and touched someone, and at the same time, maybe just me talking about this and posting it out there, throwing it out to the world, feeding it to people who may or may not agree or may disagree, start conversations. I am a very talkative person. I love talking. I love arguing a lot, because I like thinking objectively. People don't like to argue, and I completely get why. I like arguing, but not for the sake of the fight, for the sake of understanding. Because when you argue, you get points out, you get points across, and people may or may not understand. And I think that's kind of important. To me, anyways. There we go. Got some mashed taters. Smashed potatoes, bruh. Let's get that bowl of mashed potatoes next to the ham up there. Ooh, what else is very essential? I could do a turkey. I don't want to draw a turkey. I don't like turkey. Screw turkey. What's really... I guess turkey's the main Thanksgiving dish, though. I guess my own opinion on turkey shouldn't keep me from drawing a turkey. Fine. I'll draw a turkey. I'll draw just god dang turkey. I used to work at Kroger. There was a point in my life where I worked in food retail, and I was the meat and seafood guy. I was what was my title? Meat and seafood. I was basically the main butcher, though. I was a meat and seafood clerk, but I was essentially the butcher. And I used to have to weigh up everything in the freezer. We had a scale in the freezer, or in the fridge, really. It was just a cooler. It didn't really freeze anything. It just kept shit really cold, including you while you were in it. And we had a scale in there. We had to weigh everything to price it. And I remember just absolutely hating having to go in there and weigh everything. I hated it because you're like, basically the manager would be like, hey, this is all you're going to do today. And you're like, well, shit, I guess that's all I'm going to do today. And you'd stand for like 6 hours in that cooler in the cold, just weighing frozen and cold items. Like, your hands would just go numb, and oof. Just not the greatest time. Not the greatest job either, I'm not going to lie. And Kroger, I'm not gonna lie, not the best place to work for either. After working for them personally, I think I have every right to say, Kroger sucks, like a lot. And it's mainly just causality, really. I mean, they're a big corporation. They don't care about the employees they have because they can just get a new one, and that's very, very true. And if you're working for retail, you should probably understand that. The same goes for fast food, really. I mean, they can find another kid who'll take less pay than you. They don't need you. And that's the hard reality to find when you work those retail jobs, because you feel like you should matter, but in all reality, you don't. And I'm actually looking for a job right now. At the moment, I'm jobless. Because of some circumstances at my last job, and an argument that led to them forcing me to quit, even though I never directly said I quit. But we're not gonna get into that. That's a thing I'm actually having to fight them with right now. But I'm actually in the middle of looking for a new job. I'm actually in a pretty bad spot, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I have no idea how I'm gonna pay off any of the bills I have right now. I'm actually a month behind on one of them, and I've been trying to make money off of commissions, and it hasn't been going the best, and the job search hasn't been going all that great either. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't stress me out too much. I'm a fairly optimistic guy for the most part of my life. I usually don't complain. Well, I complain a lot, but not necessarily about my situations and circumstances. I usually keep that to myself and try to just keep it all under wraps, because I tell myself and I tell everyone else that, like, it's always going to work out, because it's supposed to work out. Life just works out a lot of the time, because life goes through periods of extremes, right? So whenever it's going through a period of extreme, just understand that, like, life likes to mediate a lot. Like, two extremes, it'll come back to the middle at one point. Whether it be you having a great, wonderful time in your life to you having one of the worst times ever. It's gonna just mediate itself back into the middle ground, basically. I mean, that's what mediate is. You're just gonna end up in that middle ground again. And that's not to be depressing. That's just the reality of the situation. But also, like, you shouldn't take it as depressing, because it's very important. It's very important that we recognize the middle grounds in our lives, because they're not horrible places to be by any means. They're just places where we know change is needed. Whether it be good or bad, change will come regardless. But when you reach these middle grounds, that's when you should start taking into account the changes that you might need in your life. You know? And me, I'm at a low extreme, and I'm sure it's gonna mediate soon, but it sure is taking its time this go around. Life hasn't been the easiest for me, if I'm gonna be completely honest. It never has been, and for the most part, I've always been pretty alright with it. Mainly because there are people who have it way worse off than me. There are people who don't have homes and don't have the same amount of education or circumstances I do. At the same time, when you're in these lows, you tend to get self-proclaimant. That's not a word. Proclaimant. That's not a word at all. I was thinking of another word, and I just barfed out a different word. That's a made-up word. But when you think about it, all words are made up in the first place. And now I've forgotten the word I wanted. Damn it. As such is conversation. But you get kind of self-inflicting, I guess, is a way to put it, where you kind of put yourself down. And it's never healthy to do that. Never healthy to sit down and look at yourself as some sort of failure. Though it's very easy to, I won't lie. It's very easy for me to sit down and just think, wow, I've done fucked everything up in my life now, and I don't know how to get out of it, and I have no one to talk to about it. It's very easy for me to get like that. But at the same time, it's just something I have to deal with now. It's just life. There's not much I can do other than wait it out and hope things work out for the best. And even if things don't work out necessarily, it's just a moment in time to take and learn and take in. You know? I don't know what this video is, really. I'm not even sure if it's a Doodles with friends. I kind of hope that maybe I talked to somebody today. That happened. That wasn't supposed to happen. I don't know why that happened. But I hope I spoke to somebody, you know? Whether I made you angry or uncomfortable, or if you related with me, or if I relate with you, or whatever, you know? I hope stuff works out. And if you're going through a hard time too, you know, it's gonna work out. You know? Sometimes you just gotta grit your teeth a little bit and just take the hits. You know? I might have rambled on a little bit too much in this episode. I promise I'm gonna get a guest for next week's Doodles with Friends. Could that not do that, please? Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna have to edit that little bit out just for the sake of no, fuck it. Screw it. I'm not dealing with that line anymore. But yeah. You know, if you like this video, leave a comment. Tell me about what you're going on. What's your Thanksgiving plans? Yeah. But yeah, next week expect a guest. It's probably gonna be FuzzyNet, or I got a friend Razor Toshiba. I recorded an episode with him, but that episode's gone because my hard drive corrupted. Yeah. I'm gonna figure something out. You know. I know there's not a lot of subscribers here, but those of you who do watch these videos, you know, thanks. Especially if you watch it to this point. It means a lot, you know? Thanks, guys. And, yeah. Maybe something will change soon. for now. Thanks for watching. Love you. And guess I'll see you guys in the next one. If you're watching this at night, have a good night. Or if you're watching this in the morning somehow, have a good morning. You know, good rest of the day, and then have a good night. All that good stuff. Thanks for watching and listening. Here's 8 seconds ish of some failed positive jams. See you guys.